And this is what we see, that the world is now discovering a tendency back towards nature, returning to nature, let's call it that way. And it's felt in everything, and it's not in vain that we see on different boxes that this is without different additives, chemical substances, and the things they write there. This is something that's appealing to people today. And I think that this is how it's going to happen with each and everything up to the point where we will return to real bread and real flesh and real everything. That as much as we're told that it's impossible according to quantities and so on, and doing it, I think that we'll still find the path how to grow everything without antibiotics and drugs and so on. There's a feeling that I really feel everything you're saying, and there's a feeling that the disconnection from nature, and many times it disbalances humanity. And there's a feeling that we humans have ruined something, and if we go back to nature, it'll correct the feeling of alienation, of artificialness. At least I feel that that's how it is. And the feeling is that if we go back to nature, it'll be the correction of the damages that man made before, and we'll return to the healthy, right source of things, to a healthy life, to greater happiness, joy. For this, we have to change many things because we want to build something new in the old world and to take something old into the new world. And it doesn't really work because you can't build a city for 20 million people in the way it was before. It's impossible. What? We'll build a 2,000 kilometer village in diameter, and it's as if unrealistic. There'll be more roads there than houses. It's irrational. We still have to think, how can we combine the ergonomic approach, meaning that which suits, fits man's body, with all of our technologies, with all of our demands, that still we won't do it like it was in the past, building an oven in our yard and cooking everything there. It no longer fits. So how do we do something in a new way? We have to think about it. I never thought about it. But returning to nature, the way I see it, it's very respectable. There is time and place for it. And I hope that we won't only return to nature corporeally wise and in terms of medicine and foods and so on, but so it will also be in terms of a person's soul, so that he'll feel that he has to return to nature, he has to connect with all of nature, that he is actually an inseparable component of nature, with all the forces and laws that exist in nature. He has to keep them too, out of his own free choice. Both our body, we have to allow our body to exist in the right and free way as much as possible, and it's possible for sure, even though that we're already 8 billion, may there be 10 billion, doesn't matter. But that we have to give each and every person the ability to be as close to nature as possible with all the modern form that we don't want to give up. This is really a problem that we have to deal with because the more we distance from nature, the more we feel we suffer. We distance, we think that it's good, artificial, nice, we have everything by the push of a button. Then I feel no, the push of a button creates more problems than when I used to do it with my hands. And then here, you have to find a certain balance. And also returning to nature so that it will pull us also into the internality of nature, that we'll start feeling that we, as humans, have to find nature's inner force and to connect to it, not only in body but also in soul, where the forces immersed in nature have to be revealed to us, and we'll start feeling nature's inner language, which is actually the godly language of the upper force that exists in nature and controls it, and also controls us that way, and the nature of the still vegetative inanimate and our body, which also belongs to the still vegetative inanimate, will be as the transitional force, as something that matches between us and a more inner force, a force that's immersed within nature, a program, the upper force, godliness that exists in nature, that this way we'll start feeling in nature itself, in the still, vegetative, animate, from within ourselves, from our body and deeper in, we'll start feeling a connection to godliness. We'll start understanding His language, the way He speaks to us. And this way, returning to nature, we'll really start discovering our real life, eternal as nature, supreme like godliness. What's the connection, if you can explain a bit, the connection between godliness and nature? That through nature we can discover godliness. Like it says about Abraham, our patriarch, that he used to go out at night and look at the stars, and he used to see nature around him and ask, where is this upper force that created it all and sustains it and controls it and wants to tell me something through it now? But what does he want to say? I want to hear him, and I can't. I have like plugs in my ears or in my heart that I have to open up and hear and feel. And how do I open them up? Until it was revealed to him that the big plug that plugs a person's perception is his ego. And if he rises above the ego and he starts relating with love, with bestowal, with giving, like all of nature, he starts seeing that all of nature is controlled by the force of love and bestowal, and this force speaks to him through everything that there's around.